Alright guys and girls, I've spent the last half hour freaking out. Maybe I did something wrong, maybe I didn't push the right button or something, but I put the MHD OBD2 plug in. I had to buy the license. You have to pay, it's like $303 for a full license, that way you can do everything. So I paid the $303 after buying this for 60 something dollars. So that's near $400. And so I plug this deal in, follow the little directions, and I start uploading my program. And the stage one is the one that doesn't have any mods, no mods. This car has no mods except for, it's got the hard charge pipe where I guess they're plastic and they tend to bust. Well, there's a replacement one that doesn't use the aftermarket blow-off valve. It just uses the recirc valves. And so it's just like the two tubes. It doesn't have the actual blow-off valve place. That's the one I've got. Somebody had replaced it prior to me getting the car, because I probably would have got the blow-off valve being a car guy. Somebody was just replacing it to, fix it. That's done, and there's no other upgrades on this car. The Golf T mod, I guess it's called, is where on the driver's side exhaust there is actually a diverter valve kind of deal. I guess it is designed to equally split the exhaust tone from the driver's side to passenger side. Well, I think it comes in on the driver's side more so. So if you take that little rubber hose, it's on like a solenoid underneath the car on the driver's side, you pull it down, take it loose, and you take the Golf T mod, and you take the Golf T and shove it in there. You know what a Golf T is? You stick it in the ground, put a golf ball on it, and that's the Golf T. So you stick that in the rubber hose, kind of tuck it up in there somewhere, and supposedly it doesn't divert as much exhaust to the passenger side, so it creates a louder tone, I think is the idea of it. But I went to check that, maybe I was going to see what, just for my own personal, what does it sound like? And I went back there, crawling around, and it's already actually, the hose is gone. There's no vacuum hose. It's the valve or whatever there, the solenoid deal, it's there, but there's no vacuum plugged into it. And I searched around and dug around, and I couldn't find it. So maybe it's been that way the whole time. Maybe it would be a lot quieter if I had that on there, but I couldn't. I seen where it went to, but I didn't see where it came from. But I started uploading it. Not sure what happened. It crashed, and then it wouldn't restart or scan, and I was like, well, maybe it's not, I'll figure it out in a little bit or something. Well, I went to get in the car and leave, and it wouldn't crank. So I guess where it started doing the flash and then it crashed on me, it done something to the computer. I have no clue. I end up pulling the battery, let it set for a little bit, put it all back together, and restarting it, and it finally linked. The problem was it wouldn't link to the actual scanner piece, and I finally got it to link, and it took 20 some odd minutes, almost 25 minutes to do that whole flash. And now we're about to test it and see what we come up with. But I'll try to see if I've got a clip of what the car sounded like when we first got it coming back from Ohio, and I'll compare that to, I've got to actually tighten my battery tray deal down. I forgot that, and I'll do that and we'll go for a ride. And I did the burbles, and you'll see in the MHD, once you get on the MHD stuff, you will have, which I'm not going to pull it all up, but there's several options, and you've probably seen this before. Just different flashes, and so when you actually, there's different versions of it. So when you pull up those, you can figure out what version you want. You can tell what fuel you want to run, and like I say, this is the stage one, and this is the one that you don't have to have any upgrades, is the way it reads. And I'm not sure what the power difference is. I don't know what the upgrade is, but it gives you an option for the burbles and all that. But this is all factory exhaust and everything, so I don't know if it'll be any louder. I'm at 2,500 RPM, 6th gear, and then once the spool comes in, that's above the speed limit. Need to slow her down there. That was in 6th gear, just accelerating to 4 grand. It's almost 100. 80 mile an hour, or 70 mile an hour, and we're in 3rd now. This is a third gear pull. 110. Alright. We'll give it a rip and see what it sounds like just getting pulled out. Like I say, this car didn't make much sound anyway as it was. I'm not sure how the sound will be. No real burble sounds that I'm hearing. It's well, I'll go ahead and tell you, that's stage 1. No mods. I can tell a difference. 100%. It's not crazy, but you can tell it's not the same as it was that I've been driving. 100%. You can tell a difference. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, and that's the stage 1. That's no mods. There's nothing on the car besides, I guess, the exhaust Golf T mod and the hardened charge pipe. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess it's just dialed in a little more, maybe just a little more aggressive on the tuning. Still the factory everything. I do have the Burger Motorsports air intakes. That'll probably make the, the turbos sound a little louder. I don't really think it's gonna, turn the car loose and make it crazy, but like any air intake, I would imagine it would at least be less restrictive on the airflow. But as far as that stage 1, yeah, I mean, I can tell a difference. There is a difference, for sure. I don't hear no burbles but again, I don't have any exhaust. It's all factory downpipe. There's nothing aftermarket about it. It's completely 100% stock. So, just a little FYI, when you're installing the MHD, it's going to be on there for a while, so if your battery's weak or anything of that caliber, it does say that you should probably hook up a battery charger or something while you're actually doing that first install, because if you get low voltage during that process, it can actually kick it out. I don't think that's what happened to me. I'm really not sure what happened on that deal. It just lost its connection. I don't know. And once I reset the battery and cleared some codes and stuff with my scanner, I think the battery was the fix, but I did actually clear codes and stuff with my scanner. It's like the immobilizer was dead. Like, it would crank, you hit the button and it would just crank over, but it wouldn't actually start. But I did, as I was going through that information for this MHD setup, it does specify that they suggest, probably for that very reason, that you put it on a battery charger that way you don't run into a voltage issue, because it's going to take a while. It's at least 20 minutes, and so I've not done a second flash on it yet, This was just to, you know, see if it was worth fooling with it. I don't have any accessories, and I started not to do it. I started to wait till I get some accessories, or, you know, the downpipe or something. But yeah, I decided to just go ahead and do the stage 1 and just see if it made a difference. So I don't know. It's not worth what I paid so far. To my experience, you can get a manual boost controller, just a cheap one, and turn it up that much. Now the fuel trim and everything might be a little better this way. Might be a little easier or whatever on the motor. May have a little more tunability, but that's just the first step, you know what I mean? So the next one with the intercooler is the stage 1 plus, I think, and then it goes to like stage 2. Maybe it's a stage 2 with the intercooler, so that'll be probably the next purchase. And then or maybe it's 2 with the, what you call it, the downpipes. Then we'll go from there. So alright, so yeah, I think overall it's going to be worth it. I think at some point I'm going to start having coil issues, and then my fuel pumps, that's a big issue once you start cranking these things up. So I may do some maintenance stuff before I do more power adders. I may spend a little money, put some coils in it and that type of thing. So you may want to check into that stuff before you get up to that next level, you know. Alright, so yesterday I had to deal with sewer backups, and rental had water heater problems. I had to change the water heater out, the kitchen sink, some sewer problems, and then I had a sewer problem down here. But I think luckily it may not be on my end. It may be like the city's sewer problem. They're starting to back up, or an old line or something's having issues. So may be lucky and it don't cost me a bunch of money. I say that's lucky, but at the same time, that's just sooner we get down to the one that's so bad and have to start on it. So we're gonna find out where we're going from here. I'll have to make some phone calls tomorrow and see if it's on the city, or if it's, I don't know what that noise is, or see if it's gonna be on me. That's gonna be a job. There's the city's already been digging up lines and doing stuff down there, so I'm probably betting it's going to be on them. So we might get lucky. We may do some pulls in this car before it gets super dark. I don't know if you can really tell that the camera light's not great, and with it sitting there, it'd be hard to get all the lighting figured out and do a few pulls. But let me try to get in a position to do a pull in this thing. But yeah, with the MHD Stage 1, I can tell the difference. I can physically feel the car pulls stronger. Again, that's no other upgrades besides just the aluminum charge pipe, not the blow-off valve or anything, just the regular charge pipe, and that's all it's got. So yeah.